The Alaskan wilderness is a stark and breathtaking place, where the snow-capped mountains meet the endless horizon, and the northern lights dance in the dark winter sky. But beneath this serene landscape lies a secret facility that has sparked decades of speculation, conspiracy theories, and intrigue: the High-Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, or HAARP. Officially, HAARP is a research facility run by a collaboration between the U.S. military, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, and universities. Its purpose, according to its founders, is to study the ionosphere, the layer of the Earth's atmosphere that plays a crucial role in communication, navigation, and weather systems. The ionosphere is vital for understanding how radio waves travel, which is why HAARP was originally designed to enhance communication systems, especially for military purposes. But for many, HAARP has become something far more mysterious. Rumors about its true purpose, particularly regarding the potential manipulation of weather patterns and even global events, have flourished over the years. The whispers about HAARP and its ability to influence weather have become a modern-day urban legend, rife with fear, speculation, and disbelief. In the story of HAARP and weather manipulation, fact, fiction, and the unknown collide. The birth of HAARP. The story of HAARP begins in the early 1990s when the U.S. military, in collaboration with several research institutions, began constructing the facility in Gakona, Alaska. Its core technology involved a massive array of antennas, known as the Ionospheric Research Instrument, IRI, designed to send high-frequency radio waves into the ionosphere. This experimental setup allowed researchers to study how the ionosphere reacts to the transmission of these signals. According to the official narrative, HAARP's primary mission was to advance the understanding of radio wave propagation in the ionosphere, which could, in turn, improve satellite communications and weather forecasting. This was considered to be a breakthrough in scientific research, but the scope of the project quickly raised eyebrows. Why was such a facility necessary? And why was it situated so far away from major population centers? As the construction of the facility progressed, rumors about HAARP's real purpose began to spread. The idea of using radio waves to interact with the ionosphere seemed to open the door for more nefarious uses, especially when it came to weather manipulation. Theories of weather manipulation. The central theory surrounding HAARP is that the facility can be used to manipulate weather patterns, including triggering earthquakes, floods, droughts, and even hurricanes. This theory, often referred to as the weather warfare theory, suggests that HAARP could be used as a weapon, altering the planet's weather on a global scale. The idea of weather manipulation is not entirely new. The concept has been the subject of conspiracy theories since the Cold War. The U.S. government, in fact, had been interested in weather control since the 1960s, with a project called Project Popeye, which involved seeding clouds to induce rain over enemy territory during the Vietnam War. However, HAARP seemed to be the next logical step, a much more advanced and powerful tool capable of affecting not just localized weather but global patterns. The rumors about HAARP's involvement in weather manipulation became particularly prominent in the aftermath of natural disasters. When Hurricane Katrina devastated the Gulf Coast in 2005, conspiracy theorists were quick to point the finger at HAARP, claiming that the storm was not a natural phenomenon but rather a result of the military's weather experiments. This theory was fueled by the unusual intensity of the storm and the notion that HAARP could have created or intensified it by manipulating the ionosphere in a way that influenced atmospheric conditions. Other theories included HAARP being responsible for other extreme weather events, such as the 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami, the 2010 Haitian earthquake, and the flooding in Pakistan in 2010. The idea that HAARP could trigger or exacerbate seismic activity, by altering the ionosphere and possibly affecting tectonic plates, was another popular claim. Some even speculated that HAARP could cause droughts, famines, or floods as a form of covert warfare, using climate as a weapon to destabilize nations. These allegations were often met with fierce denial by scientists and the U.S. government. According to HAARP's official website, the program is purely scientific, and there is no evidence to support the claims that the facility is capable of controlling or influencing weather patterns in any way. The electromagnetic frequencies that HAARP emits are simply too low to have any significant impact on weather, and no technology exists to alter such massive natural forces. The role of media and the public's imagination despite the denials, HAARP's secretive nature only fueled further speculation. The facility's remote location in Alaska and its powerful antenna arrays created an air of mystery that was ripe for conspiracy theories. Popular culture also played a significant role in amplifying these suspicions. Television shows, movies, and books have long depicted secret government projects that manipulate weather, often linking them to global control or sinister plans. This has helped to cement HAARP as a symbol of shadowy government experiments gone awry. One of the most prominent examples of HAARP's place in pop culture came in 2011, when the Discovery Channel aired a documentary about HAARP called HAARP: The Ultimate Weapon? The show further fueled the speculation that HAARP could be used for weather manipulation and weaponized weather events. The public's fascination with such concepts, combined with the facility's secretive nature, helped to transform HAARP into a subject of myth and mystery, with some viewing it as an instrument of global control or weapon of mass destruction. The media's portrayal of HAARP as a secret weapon further amplified its role in the collective imagination. Tabloid newspapers and fringe websites spread stories claiming that the facility was responsible for everything from climate change to the 9/11 attacks. The belief in HAARP's sinister intentions became a rallying point for those already distrustful of government institutions and their hidden agendas. The end of HAARP? In 2015, the U.S. Air Force officially announced that it would be shutting down HAARP due to budget cuts and a lack of funding. The announcement added fuel to the fire for conspiracy theorists, who saw the closure as proof that the government was hiding something. After all, if HAARP was truly just a benign scientific project, why would it be shut down so suddenly? Some theorists went as far as to claim that the shutdown was part of a cover-up, with the government having completed its experiments and no longer needing the facility. Others speculated that the research had been moved to a more secretive location, far from the public eye, where HAARP's experiments on weather and global events could continue undisturbed. For many, the closure of HAARP did not end the theories surrounding it. Instead, it deepened the mystery. Was HAARP a government experiment gone awry? Was it involved in the manipulation of weather patterns or climate change? Or was it simply a misunderstood scientific program, advanced for its time, whose technologies were misinterpreted by the public? Legacy of HAARP. Whether or not HAARP was truly capable of influencing the weather, it undoubtedly sparked a debate about the ethics and potential dangers of emerging technologies. HAARP became a symbol of the unknown, the mysterious intersection of science and military power, and the blurred line between fact and fiction. The conspiracy theories about HAARP and weather manipulation continue to circulate, even after the facility's closure. The public's fascination with the idea that governments or secret organizations could control natural forces, weather, earthquakes, and more, has not waned. In fact, the HAARP story is a cautionary tale about how advanced scientific projects, shrouded in secrecy, can easily be co-opted by the imagination to create larger-than-life myths and narratives. Ultimately, HAARP remains a powerful reminder of the tension between scientific curiosity, military interest, and the public's thirst for knowledge. Whether that knowledge is based in reality or woven from the fabric of speculation and intrigue. The role of technology and the unknown. The speculative nature of HAARP has roots in both technological advancement and the secrecy that often surrounds military and scientific research. The rapid pace of innovation in the 20th and 21st centuries has created a landscape in which the boundaries of possibility are constantly being pushed. As new technologies emerge, many find themselves grappling with the ethical implications of their use, particularly when those technologies can potentially alter the natural world in ways never before imagined. HAARP, with its ability to emit powerful radio waves into the ionosphere, represents a classic example of such a technology. While its official purpose remains to explore the ionosphere and enhance communication technologies, its ability to influence the upper layers of Earth's atmosphere has made it a prime candidate for wild theories. The ionosphere, after all, is a crucial part of our planet's electromagnetic environment, and understanding it better could open doors to new forms of communication, weather prediction, and even environmental control. The truth about HAARP's capabilities is less sensational than the conspiracy theories suggest. Radio waves, even at high frequencies, do not have the power to directly influence weather systems, let alone trigger massive natural disasters like hurricanes or earthquakes. Weather patterns are shaped by complex, large-scale processes involving the Earth's atmosphere, ocean currents, solar radiation, and more. For HAARP to have a significant effect on weather, it would require a level of energy and control far beyond what the facility can generate. In reality, the IRI at HAARP is focused on understanding how the ionosphere interacts with radio signals and investigating phenomena like auroras and space weather. But in a world where technology is rapidly advancing, and where the public often has limited access to the full scope of military or scientific research, the fear that something might be hidden or misused is a common reaction. Technologies like HAARP, complex, experimental, and shrouded in secrecy, serve as fertile ground for speculation, whether or not those fears are grounded in reality. Environmental concerns and climate control. One of the recurring themes in the HAARP conspiracy theories is the idea of weather warfare. While no definitive evidence exists that HAARP was ever used for military applications like controlling weather patterns, the notion that weather could be manipulated as a weapon has existed for decades. The idea of manipulating weather for strategic military advantages dates back to the Cold War, with both the United States and the Soviet Union experimenting with techniques like cloud seeding in an attempt to control or disrupt weather during conflicts. These experiments were small in scope, with the goal of modifying local weather conditions, such as inducing rain to impede enemy movements or to disrupt agricultural production. However, HAARP's sheer scale and its advanced technology, combined with its military affiliations, make it an easy target for the idea that weather control is not just possible but actively being pursued. Conspiracy theorists argue that HAARP could be capable of modifying or weaponizing weather events for geopolitical purposes. For example, it is often suggested that the US government could use HAARP to cause extreme weather patterns like hurricanes or droughts in specific regions, potentially as a form of economic or political pressure. Environmental and climate control is, in fact, a growing concern among scientists and policymakers. The notion of geoengineering, using human-made interventions to mitigate the effects of climate change, is one that is taken seriously by some experts. While geoengineering methods have focused on ideas like reflecting solar radiation or capturing carbon from the atmosphere, weather modification technologies like HAARP are still firmly in the realm of science fiction for most experts. Nonetheless, the idea that controlling weather could become a tool for governments or corporations remains an area of concern. While most scientists maintain that weather modification, especially through technologies like HAARP, is not feasible, the public's distrust in government institutions and their fear of climate change have kept the conversation alive. In an age of increasingly unpredictable weather patterns, fueled by both natural cycles and human-driven climate change, it's not hard to understand why people might connect HAARP to the world's growing environmental crises. The closure of HAARP and the evolution of the conspiracy in 2015, after decades of controversy, HAARP was officially shut down by the US Air Force. The facility's closure raised suspicions and stirred the conspiracy theories even further. Some theorists believed that HAARP had served its purpose and that its technologies had been moved to a secret location. Others claimed that the closure was a cover-up, and that HAARP's weather-modifying capabilities were still in operation but under the radar. To further fuel these suspicions, the US government handed over control of the HAARP facility to the University of Alaska Fairbanks, which began running the site as a research facility for atmospheric studies. This change in leadership gave some the impression that the government was simply distancing itself from the controversial project while continuing the research under a more academic and less publicly scrutinized setting. For conspiracy theorists, the closure of HAARP and its transition to civilian control could be seen as a deliberate attempt to bury the truth. If HAARP had been used for weather manipulation or secret military projects, the argument went, moving it out of government hands would be a way to avoid accountability or public exposure. After all, the fact that the US military was no longer publicly operating HAARP left a large question mark over the program's true scope and purpose. However, the reality of HAARP's closure was far more mundane. Budget cuts, shifting priorities, and the evolving nature of scientific research likely played a more significant role in the decision to shut the facility down. It's possible that the facility's equipment was simply no longer cutting-edge enough to justify its high maintenance costs, and that modern research priorities had moved beyond the study of the ionosphere and radio propagation to other, more pressing challenges. But the public's imagination often fills the gaps left by uncertainty, and thus the myth of HAARP as a secret weather weapon has endured. The enduring legacy of HAARP conspiracies, despite the lack of evidence supporting HAARP's role in weather manipulation, its legacy continues to influence popular culture and conspiracy theories. The idea of controlling the weather, whether through secretive government programs or corporate manipulation, has only gained traction as climate change accelerates and extreme weather events become more frequent and destructive. The legacy of HAARP also extends to the broader field of conspiracy theories. In an age where misinformation spreads quickly through social media, HAARP has become a symbol of the government's hidden powers and its potential to control nature itself. The facility's remote location, combined with its mysterious technology and its connection to the military, makes it an ideal target for those who believe in shadowy global conspiracies. In the post-9/11 era, when trust in government and institutions has eroded in many parts of the world, HAARP serves as a focal point for fear and speculation. In the end, the story of HAARP is not just about weather manipulation, but about the tension between secrecy, technology, and the human desire to uncover the truth. Whether or not HAARP was ever used to manipulate the weather is ultimately irrelevant to the way the conspiracy theory continues to captivate the public's imagination. Like many other conspiracy theories, HAARP is a reflection of broader societal fears. The fear of what governments and corporations are capable of doing behind closed doors, the fear of the unknown, and the desire to find meaning and control in an unpredictable world. As the years pass and new scientific advancements continue to shape the world, HAARP will likely remain a point of curiosity and skepticism for those who are drawn to the mysteries of science, power, and nature. Whether or not the weather is manipulated by HAARP, the idea that it could be remains a potent story. One that taps into the larger narrative of human uncertainty and the constant search for answers in a world that is often too complex and too secretive for us to fully understand.